I got pictures going down on building 5 and 6 with the big perfect circles from the explosions coming out.
Jesus. This past September 11th, in the morning I called up to David Knight's show. If you're not watching David's show, I highly recommend that you do. David, of course, taking calls from people. As I was waiting in line to get online, a gentleman that was a survivor of the Twin Towers calls in. This gentleman gave such a heart-rending rendition of his experience during that day that it stopped the show. I mean, David held him over, got more out of him, and gave a story. Then David puts me on right afterward. And I go, God, how do you follow Rick? Well, how do you follow him, huh? You follow him with this. I'm out there yesterday, and who comes to the booth is that gentleman. He made a special trip to New Orleans just to talk, to add more information and about his experience on that day, projects he's got set up, what's going to be done. And of all the people I've met out there, and the years I've been doing this, and the thousands of people I've spoken to, and it's the heroes I run into, both small and large. This is the large. This is why I love being out there. I'm just humbled by the courage of this man, his spirit, his love, his fight. Like this one, share this one. There's going to be more coming on this. There's going to be follow-up, so this is going to be huge. Huge. And of course, check your subscriptions if you're subscribed. Make sure they haven't knocked you off. Subscribe if you haven't. And get my design, get my 9/11 t-shirt, and because this is the linchpin. 9/11 is the thing. It's sort of like, I mean, there's nothing bigger to bring down the deep state. Nothing. So there's truth. If we can get this out there, and it's already well widespread. I mean, it's hard to find someone that does not believe it was an inside job now. And the fact that the news medias and the politicians and all the supposed in the nose try to keep on feeding this bullshit that was 19 hijackers that attacked us that day is just, well, it is the ultimate of absurdity and insult to our intelligence. So I want to thank you for stopping by, and let's get to this one. I'll see you on the flip end. Get called in.
This is really an honor.
We had to come out here. She's from New Orleans, so she said, I told her, she heard it. So she said, we got to go out there, so we're here.
God bless you. Yeah, you tore it up, man. You tore it up.
Just told her like it is. There's so much more people don't know. Trust me when I tell you.
Oh, I know.
They had them on every other floor. And they know what they're doing. And I didn't get a chance to say, but you got to realize something. They sent 347 firemen into Tower 1 after Tower 2 came down, knowing they were bringing that down. They wanted it to be as traumatic as possible. So everybody was driven by fear and emotion. That's it. You know, everybody forgets they did it in 93.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. I mean, that's what gets me. In 92, I mean, they have it where they prove the FBI gave the bombs to the guy.
Pakistan, Colonel.
Thank you.
And he taped them.
Yes.
Because he figured out that they're setting my ass up. This is real explosives.
Yes.
So when they did it, they arrested him. They thought they were going to use him like they did Timothy McVeigh. And his lawyer said, Your Honor, I think you need to listen to some things. And the lawyer played him, and they put that guy on a plane to Pakistan real quick and dropped the case. Look, they did it. They did it.
I understand they gave him like $1 million or something to
Yes.
paid him off,
Yes.
and, to
Yes.
shut him up and all.
Yes. Listen, they did it.
Yeah.
There were 11 buildings. I got pictures. I'm going to send you some pictures.
Yeah, do that.
Listen, I've been working on a project in between. I got a big surgery coming up my whole spine. I've lost 3 inches in height.
Jesus.
They poisoned us with steroids
Yes.
and Cipro for
Yes.
10 years. I can't close my hands.
Yes.
They got to redo my whole spine. It's going to be like 13 hours. But I've been working on a project, and it's in process of copyright trademark right now. Right, Susan? This is Susan Burrell. You should give me your business
Pleasure to
card.
meet you. Well, it's all right. Here, let me give you guys this is a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton.
You know, we were here once before. We took pictures and everything with you.
Did
We
you?
have the pictures, yeah.
Terrific.
As soon as when you came on later, I called her. I said, "Don't you know who that is? We were hanging out with him." I said,
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said, "Uncle Sam."
I want to give you one of my 9/11 posters.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you got to have
Well,
it.
I'm going to give you. I took hundreds of pictures. I had Kodak throwaways in my pockets of my Armani. On my way in at the newsstand, threw the money, grabbed the cameras, and I had them as I was going in. And I'm telling you right now, those planes were drones.
Yeah.
They've been flying 747s out of Edwards Air Force Base, remote control,
Yeah.
take off, flying 16 hours, landing 16 hours since 84.
Yeah.
Do you know about Operation Aphrodite, June 1944? Look it up. They were flying B-17s.
Oh, yeah.
They were loading B-17s. I have the classified video. If you have an email, I'll send it to you.
So yes, it's
Listen,
on the card.
they would have a video camera in one B-17,
Yeah.
and they'd have another B-17 guiding it, riding alongside it, and it would guide it into a Japanese ship. The Japanese thought we had kamikazes doing this. They didn't figure it out that it was drones, so they went to their pilots telling them that they're cowards, that we need heroes. So being stupid, we got to do this. They're doing it. And that's where kamikaze came from. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay?
I believe
But
it.
they can't talk about these stories.
Yes.
Because you know what I said. Let me tell you something. That plane went, when it came in from the I'm standing right at, no. I'm going in, grab the door, and I hear the second. And you know how things go 1,000,000 miles an hour in your mind when you're about to die? So as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm dead. And it was like slow motion, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. And I'm watching this dark gray plane.
Right.
It was not a commercial plane.
Right.
Going like this,
Right.
going like this. And I'm like, I remember it flashing through my head, there's no way someone's flying that shit. There's no way. And the explosions that went off underneath me at the same time that sucker went in above me, and jet fuel's kerosene, it only goes to 1100 degrees. Okay? If you ever get a chance, watch The Anatomy of the Great Deception,
Yes.
which I mentioned, because I was an honored guest at its release. I think it was 2014 or whatever, in New York. And that's when they flipped out. And that's when I released the pictures and I started speaking, because I was quiet for 10 years. And that's when my life, they turned it upside down. Upside down, like tracking my credit cards. I have letters at home from the Office of Personnel Management. Hillary Clinton gave my information to the chunks. Okay? I have the letter at home. So they turned my life, and I don't care. All they're doing is pissing me off more.
Of course, yeah.
I live in pain every day. What are you going to do to me? Every day I wake up and realize you did this to me, I only get pissed off more. How are you going to hurt me more? So, but I'm going to send you some pictures. I'm going to send you one of those pictures where I'm right there, the hole in Tower 2 with Tower 1 here, and the fire's out. That's why they took it down first. But anyway, I told her, I said, let's go see Uncle Sam.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I can't squeeze.
No, don't be it. Don't
listen to my
apologize to me
neck.
at all.
Listen.
Yeah.
It's bone on bone. There's nothing between my vertebrae. They poisoned us to kill us for 10 years.
I mean, you're lucky you're alive. How many of the survivors are
Look, my head of human sources, she knows her. Stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
I've held her hand. She came out of it 4 times. I had another guy, pancreatic cancer, stomach. Took him quick. Another one, stomach. Took him quick. The homelessness it caused. Because when I collapsed finally in 2006, that was it. I was done. I was the CEO. I was the CFO. I collapsed. And the whole thing fell apart after that. The people in the private sector were ignored. The firemen, the policemen, they had unions. They were on comp right away. The city workers, the state workers, the federal workers, all on comp. And people don't know there's 2 funds. There's the health fund and the comp fund. The health fund is a total scam because, see, the firemen and policemen, they're all on comp. It's the private sector that the fund was supposed to be set up for,
Right.
and they don't do shit. And Paul Ryan and Barry Soetoro set up a second fund. If you no longer see my neck is, if you don't live in it.
Hi. Those are cute. Can we take a picture?
Sure, right ahead. And what do they do to Willie Rodriguez and how they go ahead and crucify, you know?
Listen. Your email on here? Because I'm going to
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
I'm going to send you a video, new evidence, eyewitness, new evidence. Know that the video you're going to watch and the guy in it, I was there with them that day. Luke Radowski, I did a full interview with him. I hung out with these guys you're going to see in the video. Les Jamieson, Richard Gage, architects and engineers. Roland, that was on the show, he stayed at my house. I put him up in Gulf Shores. He did an appearance and an event to the Architects Associations, like the accountants have AICP. Well, the architects do. And Roland did a whole presentation. So they've been doing it since 2005. Everybody knows at this point they did it. That's why they had to switch gears and go to Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and gender and transvestites, because they had to get something else to come in from the other side, because everybody was coming together on 9/11. That's why they're doing this other shit. I try to explain to people, they're hitting us from every angle. They're hitting us with this vaping, smoking. They're hitting us with this jewel. That's nicotine. You put a drop of nicotine on somebody, that's what they kill spies with. You got the opioids, you got fentanyl. They're now processing marijuana coming into this country with LSD. You got the bioweapons. Leprosy all over, measles, mumps, tuberculosis, I said leprosy. Every disease you can imagine. Coli, Ebola, Black Plague.
Yes.
Okay, so they're hitting us with everything. And these young people have to realize it's the enemy, and I'm not letting the enemy win. I'm not smoking. I'm not doing this fake. I'm not taking drugs. That's the enemy. I'm going to win this war. We're at war. We got to wake them up. That's what's going on, because 9/11 was breathing down their throats. I'm the guy who worked with Walter Jones on getting the 28 pages released, but they released them redacted. But I know what's in it, because you know something? Walter Jones told me. Okay? And this little announcement that they just did about their FBI is going to release the name. First of all, we know that Cheney, Clinton, Mueller, Comey, and all them were involved in 9/11. Those guys are just accessories. They're feeding you bullshit to distract you. They feed you crumbs. When I heard that, I'm like, okay, it's another propaganda scam. Look here, not over here. We already know who did it. Okay? We already know. But Walter Jones, you know they killed him.
Yeah.
Walter never drank. The man was a devout Christian. I mean, I can't say enough about the man. I mean, I had dinner with Rand Paul, all these guys. And that's what I was trying to describe. To understand this evil, you have to understand the size of those buildings, to understand the size of this evil, for them to want people in there, to send 347 firefighters in there to their death, to make it bigger. You got to understand it. Did you ever hear of the Fifth Avenue Synagogue? That's the Bloombergs, Koch brothers, not Koch, Koch brothers, Silverstein, Bloomberg, all of them. Yeah, that's where they plant the hole. Giuliani is a piece of garbage.
Yes.
I told everybody that from the beginning. When Trump let him in, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This guy knows what they did. He was part of it. Chris Christie, they set the table. The Clinton administration set the table. Al Gore was supposed to do it. When Bush got in, they flipped out. But what's the big deal? Bush Senior, same thing. Different flavor. So they kept everybody distracted with the fighting while they did it.
I just spoke to a woman who works for Fox News out in New York.
Oh, talk about brainwashed.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's an entertainment editor for Fox News there. And I said, so I showed her one of my posters where, they lie and it's got
He's got the perfect radio voice. Not to interrupt you, bro.
And Fox is on there. I'm going to give you that one. And she goes, well, Fox is on there too. And I said, yeah, because, look, I talk to people out here on a daily basis.
Yep. I know. I
know
remember
that
we were here.
9/11 we were lied to.
Fox goes, listen, Rupert Murdoch is a subject of the Queen and an Israeli citizen. When they took out Robert Maxwell, that's not even his name, he's from Czechoslovakia, he's Jewish. When they took down his publishing empire because it was fledgling and he was going to reveal the Epstein thing back in 91, they took him out and they handed that empire over to Rupert Murdoch and changed the names, that's all, because it's all owned by Rothschild.
Thank you. Well, it goes back to the Bank of International Settlements.
There you go. There you go.
So she acted like she didn't know.
Well, they always have, they are compartmentalized. They don't want to know. Because it's like I talked to a policeman out here that was there that day, a New York cop that was there that day. And he suspected things that were wrong about 9/11, but it's his words, and you heard me say it on the radio. I said,
cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, didn't want to believe that our government was involved because it pulled the rug out from everything he's ever been taught his entire life.
Well, it's
So
just
people-
bad actors in the government.
Yeah.
It's
Listen,
bad people.
I had to smack the shit out of a cop who just was looking up and couldn't move.
Right.
I was screaming at him. Tommy Robinson's out, 30 days solitary confinement.
Thank you, sir.
With no charges and no jury. You too now.
Well, that's it. I mean, the blatantness of how they're
in our face now. Listen, this is it. This is the end game.
Yeah, it is. And I think people are starting to see through it. I mean, people are, and it's scaring some people, but like with you and me, it's either fight or flight. You're either going to fight or you're going to fly. And we're fighting.
There's so much that I haven't told so far.
Oh, I know.
What happened the day before in the morning when I was coming up. We used to get off the PATH train down in Tower 1. coming over from Hoboken. You'd go up the first escalator. It was like an eighth of a mile long. It was insane. I never saw Muslims in that area for 15 years I was there. Never. September 10th in the morning, I get on there with my buddies, my crew, traveling guys, New York Stock Exchange, all that. And we go to get on normal briefcases, this and that, dressed up. And these Muslim women with the black garb, the whole thing. And we just looked at them, I looked at Tony, and we're like, what's up with this? We never saw that shit, right? So gentlemen, ladies, please get in front of me. I get behind him, we're going up. She passes out, falls back on me. I drop my briefcase. Tony gets it. I catch her. I carry her, get her to the top in my arms. I'm walking around for 5-10 minutes trying to find Port Authority cops. Okay? Finally, I find him. I'm like, and when she wakes up, she says, we got to get out of here. We all going to die. I look at Tony. I go, Tony, do you hear that? Now, they had already taken the bomb dogs out beginning of August. Remember when I said that?
Yes.
Okay? They took them out the first week of August, but yet they were telling us the alert was at its highest level, and they do the color alerts in Times Square every day and all that bullshit.
Yeah, that crap.
So anyway, I'm carrying, I look for the Port Authority cops, and I get them, and I said to the cop, I said, I need help here. You need to know what you said. So anyway, he walks me to a wall, knocks on the wall, and it opens. Remember they talked about med vacs and how some were trapped in the med vacs?
Yes.
I was in a med vac the day before. And I carry her in. They said, put her on a table. I think.
Yeah, no.
Oh, so I put them on. They said, put her on the table. So I put her on the table. There are all these screens. It's all security. I'm figuring out it's Port Authority cops. So I go to sit down. And they're like, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm waiting. You need to help her. I'm staying there with her. No, you're not. You're leaving. And I'm like, no, that's my girlfriend. I'm not going anywhere. He goes, yeah, nice try. And they forced me out of the room.
Yeah.
The rest of the day, I kept calling there to find out what happened. No information, nothing. 1 o'clock that afternoon, the Dow dropped 800 points. And it never reopened till 2 weeks later when they went into emergency powers and the Fed window opened up and anybody could go get money for 0%. See, I lived it. The next morning, 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., I was at ground zero.
Yeah.
And the FBI and FEMA, dressed in their blue blazers and khaki pants, tried to remove me. And I went fucking nuts. I was going nowhere with her there, trying to find her. And I went fucking ballistic on her. And I was up inside all the buildings I was staying in, taking pictures. And I got those pictures.
Send them.
I got pictures going down on building 5 and 6 with the big perfect circles from the explosions coming out.
Jesus.
Your email on this?
Yes, you gotta
I'm gonna
send them.
to you.
You gotta send them.
I'll
Don't
send
go
them to
anywhere.
you.
I'm gonna give you some posters.
You don't have to do that.
Yes, I do. Are you kidding me?
But listen, I'm working on a project. We have been working on it. And I'm waiting for copyright, trademark approval. It's in God's hands,
Amen to that.
That's it. It's in His hands. And if we get it, it's going to be huge. That's all I can say right now, and I'll leave it at that. But we're going to make you part of it.
God bless you.
I'm not sure. This is true right here. No, I need your address.
Yeah.
You know what? I got your email. You can respond back and give
Yeah,
me your
I'll give you
address.
my. Okay, I'll send all that.
I'm gonna send you the real deals. Get it. This is why I came down here today.
Oh man, God, I am honored.
Keep up
I
what
am
you're
honored.
doing, and listen. By the grace of God, because Friday I just mailed out 6 more packages. We get the copyrights and the trademarks on this. The sky's the limit on the revenue. InfoWars isn't going to have to worry about money. Leave it at that. But I don't even want to talk about it because I don't like to jinx it. It's in His hands.
Amen. Amen.
in his
Amen.
hands.
Amen.
I'm out of
Amen.
here. God bless you.
Oh, he has. God bless you, sir. Man, God bless you. Oh, man, I'm so honored.
Florida. Well, you can follow up.
Yeah, follow up. Please send me the info. Send me those pictures.
Sorry to
All right, brother.
I'm going to email you. You got to give me an address to send.
Yo, yeah, I meant to that. You're going to get it. I promise you're going to get it. I can't wait to get it.
So, was I right about this? It's going to be big. The pictures come in, the videos come in. I will be posting them. And yeah. Pray for me out there. Pray for all of us in this fight. And join this fight. If you can, please go contribute. And for those of you that are living paycheck to paycheck and please don't apologize to me that you can't give anything financially. I'm not looking for you to give me something. I'm looking for the people that can afford it to give me something. So to keep this fight going, because everything I get goes back into it. So God bless you, and I'll see you on the streets.